The crystalline hall of the Galactic Council trembled with unprecedented chaos. Ambassador Zyx Thor of the Vendali Empire slammed three of his appendages against the podium, his chromatic skin flashing angry crimson patterns. Around him, representatives from 47 species erupted in a cacophony of clicks, whistles, and translated protests. "This is madness." ZYX Thor's translator boomed across the chamber. "The humans must negotiate. They must." High Counselor Mertath, a being of pure energy contained within a quantum field, flickered with what could only be described as distress. In the 5,000 years since the Galactic Council's formation, never had a species outright refused to attend negotiations. Wars had been fought, planets had burned, but everyone always came to the table. Everyone except humanity, 0.12 parsecs away, aboard the human dreadnought Defiance. Captain Imogen stood before the view screen with her arms crossed, watching the recorded message from the Galactic Council play for the 7th time. Her second-in-command, Commander Jason Torres, stood beside her, equally unmoved. "They're threatening economic sanctions again," Jason observed dryly, gesturing to the holographic Vendali ambassador practically frothing at the mouth. "That's new. Last week it was just strongly worded demands." Emma's lips quirked into a cold smile. "Economic sanctions. Against us. That's rich." She had every right to be amused. The Galactic Council had spent the last century trying to force humanity into their carefully constructed hierarchy. They'd attempted trade restrictions, only to discover humans didn't need their overpriced quantum drives. Humanity had built better ones. They'd tried to isolate Earth diplomatically, only to watch as dozens of independent colonies and corporate entities flourished without Council recognition. The Council's mistake had been fundamental. They'd assumed humans needed them. "Ma'am," Lieutenant Sarah Park called from the communications station, "we're receiving another transmission. Priority Alpha." "It's Ambassador ZYX Thor himself." On screen, Emma commanded. The Vendali's image materialized, his skin cycling through submissive blue patterns now instead of aggressive red. "Captain Chun," he began, his voice carefully modulated. "Please. The Council requests. No, we beseech you to reconsider. Surely we can find common ground." Emma exchanged a glance with Jason, who raised an eyebrow. The mighty Vendali, who'd conquered 40 systems before joining the Council, was begging. "Ambassador," Emma said coolly, "we've made our position clear. Humanity is not interested in Council membership, Council negotiations, or Council interference in our affairs." "But the Kryn Accords," ZYX Thor protested, his colors flickering between blue and red. "Your expansion into the Outer Rim violates treaties that have stood for millennia." Jason stepped forward, his expression hardening. "Treaties that humanity never signed. Treaties that were created to divide up the galaxy among your little club while keeping everyone else as client states or servants. That's not. We merely seek order, structure. You seek control," Emma interrupted. "And you're panicking because for the first time in 5,000 years, someone is telling you no, and there's nothing you can do about it." The truth hung in the air like a sword. The Galactic Council had built their power on the assumption of overwhelming force and universal compliance. They'd never encountered a species that could match them technologically and had the audacity to simply opt out of their system. Thor's colors dimmed to a defeated gray. "What do you want? Surely there's something. Trade agreements, technology exchanges, territorial concessions. We want nothing from you," Emma said flatly. "That's what you don't understand. We don't need Council trade routes. We build our own. We don't need Council technology. Ours is superior. We don't need Council protection. We protect ourselves. We don't even need Council recognition. We recognize ourselves." Behind ZYX Thor, the crystalline hall had fallen silent. Emma could see other ambassadors crowding into frame, their various forms of anatomy all conveying the same emotion: fear. They were afraid because humanity had broken their paradigm. For 5 millennia, the Council had been the ultimate authority. Species either joined and submitted to their hierarchy, or they were marginalized into irrelevance. The system worked because it was the only game in town, until now. "You're making a mistake," ZYX Thor tried one last time. "Outside the Council's protection, you'll be vulnerable to the Devourers, to the Void Collective, to—" "We've already encountered the Devourers," Jason interjected. We destroyed 3 of their harvester fleets last month. The Void Collective learned to avoid human space after what happened at Proxima. As for the rest of your boogeyman stories, we're not impressed. Emma moved closer to the view screen, her eyes boring into the ambassadors. Here's what's going to happen, HFY Stories. Humanity is going to continue expanding, exploring, and building. We'll trade with whoever wants to trade with us. Council members included, if they come as equals, not masters. We'll defend ourselves and our allies. And we'll forge our own path among the stars. But the Council, Emma said with finality, can adapt to a galaxy where they're not in charge of everything. Or they can fade into irrelevance. Frankly, we don't care which. She nodded to Lieutenant Park, who cut the transmission. Silence filled the bridge of the Defiance. Jason let out a long breath. That's going to cause some waves. Emma turned to face her crew, seeing the mixture of pride and nervousness in their eyes. They understood what this moment meant. Humanity had just told the galactic establishment that their age of dominance was over. Let them panic, she said quietly. Let them scramble and threaten and posture. Because at the end of the day, we've proven something they can't handle. That their authority only exists if someone acknowledges it. And we don't. Jason finished with a grin. And we don't, Emma confirmed. Across the galaxy, the Galactic Council chamber remained in chaos. But aboard the Defiance, the crew returned to their duties with calm efficiency. They had stars to explore, colonies to build, and a future to forge. With or without anyone's permission, humanity had declined to negotiate. And the galaxy would never be the same.